Hi. So now we will learn how to compare fractions when they have equal numerator but their denominators are different. So the kind of fractions I am talking about are like 1 by 4, 1 by 2, 1 by 6 or 1 by 8. Here all the numerators are same, they are 1, but in denominators we have different numbers. So if I talk about 1 by 4, how do we represent in picture? I am drawing a circle, and to represent 1 by 4, I have to divide the circle into 4 equal parts, right? So these are 4 equal parts, and to represent 1 by 4, I have to shade one portion out of 4. 1 by 4 is actually 1 out of 4. So this much fraction of the circle is 1 by 4. And to represent 1 by 2, I have to divide the circle into 2 equal parts, and then I am going to shade only one part out of it. This will represent 1 by 2, right? So which fraction is bigger over here? If we compare these two, yes, half looks bigger than 1 by 4. So 1 by 2 is bigger than 1 by 4, right? So this is the comparison between two fractions. And now if we talk about other fractions also, so again we have the same circle, and to represent fraction 1 by 6, I have to divide this circle into 6 equal parts. So these are 6 equal parts, and when we are talking about 1 by 6, we have to shade one portion of this circle out of 6 portions. So this shaded portion looks like 1 by 6, right? And if I compare these two, 1 by 4 and 1 by 6, here we have 1 out of 4 of the same circle, but here we are talking about 1 out of 6. So definitely 1 by 4 is bigger than 1 by 6, right? Yes, 1 out of 4, that means when you are dividing a circle into 4 parts and you are taking one part, but when you are dividing the circle into 6 parts, you are going to get smaller portions of the same circle than when you are dividing it into 4 parts, isn't it? So from here, if we compare these two, we will actually conclude that 1 by 6 is smaller than 1 by 4. And what about 1 by 8? Again, I have pasted the same circle, and this time I am going to divide it into 8 equal parts. So these are 4 equal parts and each portion. Now again I am going to divide into 2 equal parts, and now if I take one part out of these 8 parts, it is actually smallest. This is 1 by 8 and it is definitely lesser than 1 by 6, right? So if I compare these fractions, 1 by 2 is bigger than 1 by 4, and 1 by 4 is bigger than 1 by 6, and 1 by 6 is bigger than 1 by 8, right? So when we have same numerator but different denominators, the fraction which has largest number as the denominator actually represents the smaller portion. Like here this fraction represents 1 by 8, right? That means this pizza or the circle is divided into 8 parts, and then we are taking one part out of it, right? And when we talk about 1 by 2, the circle is actually divided into 2 parts, and then this one portion will be much bigger than the one portion when the circle is divided into 8 parts, right? So when we have same number as numerator, like here we have all the numerators as 1, we compare their denominators, and if we arrange the denominators in ascending order, the fraction actually gets arranged into descending order. So we can conclude certain things. First is, when the numerators are same, the fraction with largest denominator is smallest, right? Because if you take one thing, like if I take this pizza and if I divide it into half and now I take one portion, this much part will be one portion, right? But if I divide it into 4 parts, the value of one portion becomes smaller, right? And if I increase the divisions, like if I divide it into 8 parts now, and now if I talk about one portion, it is much smaller, right? So when the numerators are same, bigger the denominator, the portion becomes smaller, right? So this is how we compare when the numerators are same. When numerators are same, the fraction with smaller denominator have more value and the fraction with bigger denominator has less value or smaller. And the fraction with smallest denominator is actually the largest, right? Yes. So this was the comparison of fractions with equal numerators.